Your 5:47, a near-career best for you, just beat Joe Amato's 5:46. A whole shot win, defeating one of the toughest dragsters in the world.
God, I don't believe it. But I'll tell you what, I'm ecstatic about it. I really am.
You certainly have right to be. 260 miles an hour to Amato's losing 264. It proves that you outdrove him on the top end, or at least were right with him. Quite a chore for an ex-drag boat team from Chicago, huh?
I think so. I think we're moving up now. We finally got some problems worked out in the car, and I think if you watch us, we'll be starting to run up like we should be.
All right, on the heels of a huge upset, let's go to one of the big marquee matchups of the afternoon. Gene Snow, points leader coming into Norwalk, second qualifier out of Fort Worth, Texas. He'll be facing this man, number 7 qualifier, Dan Pastorini, the former football quarterback from Richmond, Texas.
Pastorini, or Dante, as he's called by all of his friends, driving the Coors Silver Bullet. Now, Pastorini's had a problem all year long with this guy, Gene Snow, who's been dominating the IHRA trail. Pastorini would like nothing better than to get past this man, Snow. I'm sure Snow has other ideas. Pastorini approaching the line.
The lights flash their stage, and they're away. Pastorini in the near lane, just way over near that center line. Tight race, and Pastorini pulls it off. He beats Snow.
He's done it. Dan Pastorini has upset Gene Snow, the current points leader, and stopped his progression. So Dan Pastorini will advance into the semifinals with a great 5.55 ET, 260.87 miles per hour.
And so the former NFL Oiler beats the oil man from Fort Worth. Here's another look at the run. Pastorini getting the wheels up off the line.
You see Pastorini leaving first. He stays in it, lets the front end settle back down, and begins to motor past Snow. Bret Kepner will talk to Pastorini.
You've just accomplished something that nobody's been able to do in 2 months. Beat Gene Snow. 5:55 to 5:61. It was tight.
Gene's been running real well. He's been the guy to beat on the circuit so far, and we knew that we had to step up. We've had our problems with our fuel system and everything, but I think Jimmy and the guys got it figured out that last run. The last 2 runs we've been real consistent, and the car is nice and dry, so I don't think we've hurt anything on it. It should be real good.
I think consistent is the key word here, because you're running exactly like you were in qualifying, so you're keeping that kind of pace.
Right, so if we can keep that up and step up a little bit, I know those other guys are going to be tough in the second round, that's for sure.
Well, one thing's for sure, quarterfinal action has been tough on the top seeds. The first and second qualifiers are gone. Here is number 3, Jack Ostrander, the number 3 qualifier out of Pontiac, Michigan, and he will be taking on this man, number 6 qualifier, Bill Mullins of Pelham, Alabama.
Mullins was runner-up at the recently completed Motorcraft World Nationals, as seen here on ESPN. He's the guy that was defeated by Gene Snow in the final, and they're ready.
Good race. You see Mullins on the inside. The tires smoked on Ostrander's car, but he holds his advantage to the finish.
Jack Ostrander pulls out a good win with a 5.497, 257.14 mile per hour. Not too shabby, Bob.
Not at all, considering those traction problems he had on the way there. You see the numbers for Jack Ostrander. Great run, beating Mullins. Now, in our other quarterfinal matchup, John Carey, the number 4 qualifier, had a solo run when Glenn Mikris could not get his car fired at the start line. Solo effort for Carey, and he'll move on to the semis. And here's the way they'll line up. Marconi will meet Carey in one bracket. Dan Pastorini will take on Jack Ostrander in the other. And now we will move on to Pro Alcohol Funny Cars, their second full season in IHRA Championship competition.
This man right here leading the points, this is Bob Newberry, and he's going to be running a gentleman who would very much like to upset him. This is Don DeFluter. Don DeFluter is number 2 in the points, and he just has not been able to get around Newberry this season.
Both had easy runs in the first round, and now they meet in the quarterfinals. It will be DeFluter in the far lane, Newberry in the yellow car in the near lane as the staging lights flash and they're away.
Newberry moves first, but here comes DeFluter. He's right beside Newberry. An upset could be in the making, yes.
And Don DeFluter manages to drive around Bob Newberry. He beats the points leader, and you can tell by his crew just how much that means to them.
This is exactly what Don DeFluter needed. Now he can move in on Bob Newberry. He has stopped the one man that's had him upset all season long. There you see the figures on Don DeFluter, a 6.40, 214 mile an hour.
Moving on to our next match, Pete Gallen in poverty-stricken, an Oldsmobile bodywork. He will be taking on this man, Bogie Kell, in the nicest turned-out car in the field. Bogie Kell, the number 4 qualifier out of Atala, Alabama, in Southern Thunder.
Bogie Kell, who waves those stars and bars every time he wins around in IHRA drag racing, has not won an IHRA event for 9 years, but Bogie's always right in the thick of things, as is Peter Gallen.
Bogie Kell of Atala, Alabama, taking on Gallen from Newton Square, Pennsylvania, Joe Lapone's hometown. There you see Gallen in the right lane. The green light flashes their way. Gallen got out front, and Bogie Kell gets a little bit happy there, but he manages to overtake Gallen and take the victory.
Bogie Kell upsetting Peter Gallen in the Olds Forenza poverty-stricken car. There goes Bogie Kell's crew down. Up comes the flag by tradition, as they do it at every event. They'll go down and pick up, I'm sure, a very excited and happy Bogie Kell.
A big crowd favorite, Bogie Kell at 6.438 and 216 miles an hour. He will move on to the semifinals. In the other quarterfinals, Arnie Karp, the number 6 qualifier, met Jim Bailey, the number 14 man out of Mantua, Ohio. Karp away the winner in that quarterfinal. And in the other, Monty Todd, the number 16 qualifier out of Montgomery, Alabama, could not get it to fire. A very dejected Todd had to climb out of his dead machine, and that gave Herb Rogers, the number 8 qualifier, a solo run and a free ride into the semis.
That's very significant, Bob, because Monty Todd is number 3 currently in the IHRA points. He needed to win very badly, so a tough break for Monty Todd.
And that puts Don DeFluter in real good position to pick up valuable championship points. He'll meet Arnie Karp in one semifinal, and it'll be Kell versus Rogers in the other pro-alcohol funny semi. And we'll be back for more IHRA Championship drag racing action from Norwalk Raceway Park in Ohio right after this. Motorcraft IHRA World Nationals, Norwalk, Ohio, where we're ready for quarterfinal action of Pro Nitro Funny Cars. And this man, Doc Holliday, has a points battle on his hands. He'll be facing Jim White, the number 6 qualifier.
Doc Holliday, indeed, number 2 in the points, needs to keep advancing on and get past Jim White. White driving the Mohawk Express Oldsmobile, and Holliday in a Daytona.
Holliday near lane, White in the far lane. White looks to be in good shape, and no, I don't think so. It looks like the chutes came out a little.